everyone, welcome to this update video. I really hope that you're doing really great this morning. So we've got a couple of tropical cyclones out there and a newly developing one as well, which is just near tropical storm strength. So we're seeing them being marked here on this graphic from the National Hurricane Center. So there's still Isaac out there as a tropical storm, and it is continuing to weaken and is likely to become post-tropical today. And then there are two tropical depressions. So Joyce, which was a named storm, but it has now weakened to a tropical depression, should dissipate soon. And then there is newly formed tropical depression 12, which is likely to become a tropical storm KIRK later this morning, and eventually a major hurricane later this week. So that is in the forecast. And then there are two orange spots out there. So we have that area to the southeast of the Cabo Verde Islands given a 60% chance of formation over the course of the next 7 days. Meanwhile, that spot in the Caribbean has a 50% chance of formation through the next 7 days. So we're going to be taking a look at these systems. As we switch to the satellite imagery here, we can see what's going on. So there's some moisture in parts of the Caribbean, and we can see that activity associated with what's left of Joyce. So Joyce is weakening right now. And then there's our new tropical depression 12, which is a developing tropical storm. And then behind it, we have that next area to watch. And we definitely want to keep an eye on that next area because it may move a bit further west, and we'll see if it nears the Caribbean. So we'll be looking at the model ensemble data later in this video because some of the members are hinting at that. So as we come closer into the Caribbean here, we can see what's going on. Again, nothing too crazy, but we do have that disturbance in the region, and that's going to help out with the moisture, and it will definitely enhance the rainfall activity later today. Speaking of, let's look at it. Here we can see all these colorful shadings around. So in parts of Jamaica, Cuba, the Cayman Islands, and throughout most of Central America, including the offshore islands of San Andreas and Providencia, there's likely to be some periods of heavy rain and thunderstorms. So that's likely this afternoon. And then in other areas such as the central and southern Bahamas, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and through most of the leeward islands of the Lesser Antilles. So that's Anguilla through Dominica, maybe even near Martinique. There could be some passing showers at times, not guaranteed for everywhere. Going from St. Lucia through Grenada, including Barbados, there may not be a whole lot of rain today, maybe just a stray shower or so, but we could see more passing showers for parts of Trinidad and Tobago and even near the ABC Islands, but not a guarantee at all. And then for parts of Northern South America, Colombia through the Guyanas, there could be some periods of downpours as we head throughout today. And then looking back at the disturbance, as I said, 50% chance of formation. So as it is going to be making its way to the northwest and entering the Gulf of Mexico, we could see it develop. Now, to say where exactly it will be impacted is pretty much unknown at this point in time. Notice how wide this shaded area is. The center can go as far west as over to parts of the Yucatan, or it can go as far east as to parts of western Cuba, then enter the Gulf. So there are many possibilities on the table at this point. This is just something we have to keep a close watch on as we head into the next couple of days, because it is definitely possible that we will see some development take place of it. Now let's take a look at what is expected in terms of Depression 12. So as I mentioned, it is likely to become a major hurricane this week. So this is on the National Hurricane Center's forecast. The good news, it is going to be making a curve up and out, so likely to be a fish storm and to not be a bother for land. So by Friday, it could acquire major hurricane status and be a powerful hurricane out there again. The next name on the list is KIRK, but as of right now, the depression is sustaining winds up to 35 miles per hour and moving westward at 8 miles per hour, and it is likely to become a tropical storm by the next advisory or so, as I said. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what the models are showing in terms of the potential track of the systems. So first we have the Euro ensemble members. Now this goes out to Sunday the 6th of October. Now we can see all of these different members, and these are for Depression 12, the current tropical depression, and these members are for the next area that is behind it. So we can see that there is a lot of members agreeing on an airflow pressure, so definitely likely we will see development later this week going into next week. And then as for that Gulf system, we can see these tracks kind of all over the place in the Gulf, but then showing that the system could make its way up to the northwest and then make a little curve to the east, and we can see a little trend there for Florida again. Now, this would be a kind of a deja vu scenario that we don't want to see, especially with what recently happened with Helene. So, time will tell, but as of right now, that is the trend with these different members. But then as for that tropical disturbance out there, we can see that quite a few members are taking it very close to the Caribbean as they're going to be heading into Wednesday of next week, the 9th of October. So we have this trend here, but as for the GFS members, though, GFS is showing more of a curved pattern where the system is not going to be approaching the Caribbean. We can see all those members for current tropical depression expected to curve out there, and then that next one as well. So that other disturbance with a 60% chance of formation. So GFS not expecting that anything will be heading directly to the Caribbean. Year, on the other hand, is showing that trend with some of the members. So we'll definitely have to wait and see what the eventual outcome is going to be. We definitely have to keep our eyes out there. It is pretty active, and no doubt that we are around the peak of the 2024 hurricane season, not the regular peak, which is around September 10th. So here we are at the end of September, and it is very much active. In terms of development of the disturbances, though, it will all be dependent on how favorable the environmental conditions are. We already know that the waters are very warm out there, but once other conditions are favorable, such as the moisture being abundant in the lower and mid levels of the atmosphere, as well as those upper level winds not being too strong, then no doubt we could certainly see some development. But as it relates to the track of these systems and whether something could near the Caribbean or not, that will all be dependent on the area of high pressure out there. For now, it is not dominant, but if it should get the opportunity to essentially reinforce itself, especially for that new disturbance, then there is a pretty decent likelihood that we could see something moving more on a westward track approaching the Caribbean. So we'll see how that goes. And again, Euro kind of has a trend of seeing something coming a bit closer to the Caribbean. GFS has everything just staying offshore and moving up and out, not bothering anyone. And then again, for that Gulf system, there are many possibilities on the table. Nothing is solid at this point in time. But over the next couple of days, we should get a better idea of what will eventually happen with the system. However, I'm here to keep you guys posted on all that is happening. And so that is essentially what I wanted to share with you in this update video. And I really do hope that you found it to be very informative. However, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll respond to you when I have the chance to do so. And of course, remember to always be weatherwise.